Hello, I am Suzette, Dream Team member here at Art Anthology. Today I'm going to show you how to make a mixed media heart using Art Anthology products. Gather your supplies and let's get started. To begin, you're going to need your heart cut out, just a regular heart that you've drawn on cardboard and cut out with a craft knife. We'll need tissue paper, some book paper, and a doily. You will also need some gel medium or matte medium or Mod Podge to stick down your papers onto the cardboard. So begin by just covering the cardboard with a coat of the gel medium, and then we're going to use our book paper and tear it into small pieces and completely cover the cardboard heart. Now I have this side completely covered. I'm just going to flip it over and fold over all those papers and stick them down on the back of the heart. I'm now giving it another coat of the gel medium, and then I'm going to apply my tissue paper covering the heart and just keep it wrinkled in some spaces to add some texture. This will give it a very interesting effect once it's dry. And now stick on your paper doily. Now flip it over and cover the other side with the tissue paper also, and then just set it aside to dry thoroughly. Once it's fully dry, give it a coat of gesso. I used white gesso. You can use black gesso if you like. It really depends on the look that you want. And then set it aside to dry thoroughly before moving on to the next section. Okay, we've given this a coat of gesso and allowed it to dry. And we're gonna now add some red paint to it. This is Red Velvet. It's a Sorbet dimensional paint by Art Anthology. And I just want to go ahead and fill it in with the paint. Give it a nice coat. We probably will have to do more than one coat. Main thing is try to get it down. You want to get it in all that texture. Don't use a really good brush because you really want to, you know, push it down there and you don't want to ruin your good brushes. So just go ahead and get all of that paint in there to begin with. We're gonna give it another coat when this is dry also. Okay, now this is fully dry. The next step is to get our Raider Coloration spray. Give it a shake. Shake from side to side as opposed to up and down so it doesn't get stuck in the sprayer. And then go ahead and spray everywhere so we can get right into all those crevices. Give it a good coat. I'm going to let that sit for a bit. And have another piece of paper towel and gently dab off any excess. Let's set this aside to dry again. Okay, now this is dry. We are going to add some highlights with Stone Effects Bone to the petals of the flower, and then we will use the Antique Gold Paste Wax to just go over the centers of the flower and add some highlights here and there. So let's get started with that. You will need a small enough brush for the petals. I'm not fully painting them, I'm only adding highlights to them. I'm just going to use a cotton swab to go in there and get those more detailed areas. That word love that we had put on, that's what I'm trying to get right now. And then also the center of the flowers. The black isn't fully dry in some areas, so it's mixing a bit. You can go ahead and add the gold and more of those raised texture areas to give it more of a uniform feel throughout the piece. If need be, when you're finished, you can give it another spray of the black to get back in those textured areas. I'm going to add some highlights also to the flower petals, so everything ties in together. My paint isn't fully dry, that's why I keep wiping off my finger if I don't want to get it back in my paste wax. You of course can wait till your paint is fully dry to move on. Alright, I'm going to set this aside to dry, and then I'll see if it needs any more black. So I'll see you back in a minute. I decided the gold was taking over, so I went back and I added more of my red velvet paint. I much prefer how this looks now. I'm going to let this dry fully and then come back and add the finishing touches. Okay, the red is now dry again, and I'm just going to add back some more of the antique gold to the center, maybe some highlights on the flowers. What you will find with mixed media is stuff that you set out to do sometimes just doesn't work out. But the good thing is with art anthology products, like acrylic paints and stuff, you can just go over it and the problem is literally solved. So I'm just going to go ahead and gently add some highlights on my flower petals. I don't want too much though, so I have to be careful because this stuff is actually really, really rich and pigmented, and it will definitely spread very far. As you can see here, it definitely added a lot there. So I'm just going gentler around here, and then maybe just around the edges here. You can also just lightly buff off some, like in this case here. And I'm going to leave that alone. And let me put that away. Stencil brushes are great for applying the wax, by the way. Always good to have on hand. And to finish this up now, I am going to add a wire to the back. And this is just some brown craft wire, so I'm going to attach this around here with my glue gun probably, or with some gel medium actually. And I'm thinking I'm just going to wrap my wire with this. So you'll need your heavy gel medium and then to attach the wire, just fold up each end like that. You can easily cut off a piece if there's too much. And then just attach that with your heavy gel medium, or you can use a glue gun. It's up to you, whichever one you use. I'm curling the ends because it will sit better down in the glue, like that. And it will be harder. If it's just straight, it will slip out. So what I'm going to do before I glue, I just wrap this around my wire. It gives it a nice rustic look. Just loose, not too tight. And then just go ahead and snip off the excess. Right, so now I'm ready for my glue. I think I like it just like that. So let me grab my heavy gel medium. Like I said, a glue gun is fine also. It just really is what you have on hand. I'd have to go heat up my glue gun now. So I prefer to just use this that I have right here. So I'm just going to put some on there. This one is old, so it's very thick. But that's fine for what I'm using it for. And I'm just going to bury that in my glue. And same here on both sides. And leave it to dry. And then when you're ready, you can hang your heart. And there you go. You're all finished. And there you go. We're finally finished our mixed media heart. It was a great learning experience actually, because you now know that even, you know, when you're trying something, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to come out exactly how you planned. But you know, don't throw it away. With mixed media, you can always go back over, add something to it. It's fine, and look at the result. This is actually beautiful. The word love that we had put here, actually we can highlight it a bit if you like with just a charcoal pencil. You can just go around it like that It's not necessary, it's up to you. But if you wanted it to stand out just a bit more, see, it helps it just stand out just a bit more there. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.